Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Cioffi. I apologize. I tried to cut a live stream video just a little while ago, and it just didn't quite work out the way I thought it was going to. So I'm going to do it again here. And I'm starting with the local radar in and around the New York City area down to about Philadelphia. And you can see there's a weather front that's moving through at the moment, and it's producing a few scattered showers and one or two thunderstorms. Looks like there's one between Philadelphia and Trenton here. That's moving to the east. Another one just moved off the New Jersey coast, right along the New Jersey shore there in southern Monmouth County and moving out. We've got some scattered showers across central Connecticut, some showers and downpours up into central Massachusetts, and that's really about it. There really is not a whole lot of widespread activity going on with this. And in fact, when we look at the national radar this evening, not too much happening at the moment. As we look at that, I'm going to try and see if I can do this and the live chat at the same time because that would be great if I can. And hello there to Christopher. Just want to say hi back to you, Christopher. And thank you for being here. This is all very new to me, and it's kind of a work in progress. So I appreciate everybody's patience regarding all this. So let's look at the national radar. Not a whole lot of action going on in terms of thunderstorms this evening around the United States. And you can see the scattered activity in the Northeast, down in through parts of western North Carolina, down through southern Georgia, a little patch there in northeastern Texas, a small little bubble of thunderstorms in central Oklahoma. Some action in the southern Rockies. Otherwise, everything else is kind of either widely scattered or non-existent. And when we look at the satellite loop, I'm going to put that out there for you and let's get rid of the radar. And we're going to hold off just a second on the jet stream. But here's the satellite loop tonight. And you can see the first front is moving right along, weak, not much with it. The air today here in the Northeast was not all that moist. It was somewhat humid, but not crazy humid. So there wasn't a whole lot for this front to work on. And the air behind the front is even drier. So that is moving along, and that's going to be in here for tomorrow. Spectacular Sunday shaping up. And then we have the next weather front that's coming down from the Great Lakes, and we're going to see that start to impact our weather here in the Northeast later Monday into Tuesday. But you can see the jet stream here, how it dips down. The way the clouds are moving, you've got this trough that persists in the eastern part of the United States with this big ridge out in the west. And this trough in the east has been the signature pattern for the last 6 or 7 weeks now, with minor interruptions for a few days here and there. And those have been the two little heat waves we had. Otherwise, temperatures have been relatively reasonable, and humidity levels for the most part have been relatively reasonable so far this summer in the east. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't suddenly switch to a heat wave pattern down the road. There's still plenty of time for that. But for now, the hot weather has settled in the western part of the United States. And when we look at the jet stream on the GFS late this afternoon, right now we're looking at, here's your date and time. So we're looking at day 10 here, but I'm going to wait till it gets back to the beginning. But you'll notice here now we are at the beginning, that trough in the east is still there. There's another shortwave trough that comes through early next week, but it's not as strong as what is coming through now. So the shot of drier air is just going to be a minimal one. And then here comes a slightly deeper trough for now we're at July 18th. Now here, the 19th and 20th, a bit of a ridge pops up briefly, but you see how fast it disappears. This ridge in the west is just so dominant in the upper air pattern that we have that it's going to take an awful lot for that to finally break down and go away. It flattens out from time to time and then just re-strengthens. So it seems like that's where, at least for now, the ridge wants to be in the west and the troughing wants to continue in the east. Now we're going to look at the tropics. Christopher, I see your question. Anything coming off the African coast for the middle of next week? Well, let me just let's take a look at what's going on with regards to that. If I can find that water vapor imagery. And it's here somewhere. Oh, I guess not. All right. You know what? Let me bring it up. And let's see if it wants to come up for me. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I'm having a grand old time here. Again, I'm trying to figure all of this stuff out little by little, and it's not. This is a brand new program that I'm using, and let me try one more time. See if I can bring this up here. Is it there? It doesn't want to show up. All right. Well, the bottom line is, as far as the tropics are concerned, there's a lot of dust in the Sahara, and that has come out into the tropical Atlantic. The air across the tropical Atlantic is extremely dry. So the models have really backed off. Some of them were showing some kind of tropical storm development later next week in the tropical Atlantic, but it doesn't. They're not. The last several runs, it has really done very little with it. So, looking at what's going on out there, and you can see, by the way, this is what's left of the Tropical Depression 4, and we're seeing a flare-up of thunderstorms this evening, but I think that's due to the fact that we have this large upper low. You see that right here, this little curl? That's a large upper air storm that goes all the way up in the atmosphere, a very, very cold upper air storm. And I think that's really responsible for the flare-up of the storms here. There's a lot of wind shear, strong southwest winds aloft that are basically going to shear the tops of these thunderstorms apart during the overnight. So I would not expect that to come back. But that's a condition that exists at the moment throughout part of the Atlantic, and until that goes away, you're probably not going to see much in the way of tropical storm development. And you know what? That would be typical for this time of year. We've got maybe another 2 weeks. We get into the last week of July, then I would suspect at that point we're going to start to see things rev up just a little bit. I appreciate everybody's patience with me. This has been really an experimental day as far as this is concerned, so I'm going to keep trying to figure all this software out, but we're going to have a lot of fun with this live streaming, because when weather breaks, I'll be able to cover it with relative ease once I get my head around how to work this software package. So in the meantime, you can check out all the latest website posts at meteorologistjoecioffi.com, and you can also check things out on my Facebook page at Meteorologist Joe Cioffi on Facebook. Hello, Carol, and thank you, Abaden. Yes, it is very tough for me experimenting, trying to figure all this out. The software is not it's foreign to me, but I'm going to get there. And by the way, we do have this live chat element that we're going to have on the live streaming. So I'll be able to talk to you, answer your questions, and respond to your comments almost immediately. That will be a fun thing to do, and I'm going to really enjoy that, I hope, as long as people are mostly kind. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I will, as I said, I will continue to get a grasp of this, and we will see you again. I'm going to try this again at some point tomorrow. At least that's the plan of attack here. It's always fun trying to learn all this technical stuff on the fly. All right, folks, have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend.